Thank you very much. It's great to be back in Labrador City and Wabash again, and certainly thank you for the invite. I'd like to begin by thanking the Labrador Chamber of Commerce for hosting this incredible event. It is so important to bring together the mining industry and bring them together in one space so that you can celebrate your successes. I'm also delighted to be joined by Labrador West MHA, Joe Power, who is such a passionate advocate for this region. And whether I'm talking about Joe or Keith Russell or Leila Evans or Lloyd Parrott, I can tell you I am so proud to have such an outstanding representation with Labrador roots in our government. Thank you all. I also want to acknowledge some colleagues from the House and also our MP. Jim Dinn, the leader of the NDP, is there. There's Jim over there. And Fred Hutton. Fred, you're back. You're here somewhere. I know you are. Welcome. And also Fred Earle. Fred is the, obviously you all know, the MP for Labrador, and whom we will put a lot of pressure on in the days to come. In the last election, the voters have put their faith in us, and I am here today to tell you that we will always work hard to live up to that faith. I also want to thank all of you for taking the time to join me here today. We have a lot to talk about. We all know we're in iron country, and I'm not just talking about what's in the ground. Every time I come here, every single time, I'm blown away by the work ethic and the resilience of the people of Labrador West. Here's the thing about mining. These are good jobs, long-term, high-quality employment, as you can all attest. And when you have good jobs, you can build a strong community. And I see that right here, Wabash and Labrador City. For me, the calculus is simple. If you want strong rural economies, you have to have a strong natural resource sector. And that does not happen on its own. Our government is aggressively promoting the province's wealth of undeveloped minerals to attract international interest and investment. And investment means investment, not giveaways. I believe that the resources aren't just something to be sold. They are something to be developed. It's very important to me to make sure we create more industry right here in Newfoundland and Labrador. We're looking for investors who want to invest in our people as much as our resources, and we are finding them. We're also prepared to do more when it comes to adding value to the minerals we produce. For instance, one of the most promising industries we see on the horizon is the production of green steel. Steel remains essential to global development, but how it is produced is changing. There is a growing emphasis on reducing emissions across the value chain. Green steel technologies rely on higher quality iron ore with low impurities, increasing demand for premium products such as those produced in the Labrador Trough. Only about 15% of the world's iron ore supply is considered high quality. This type of ore is essential for low carbon steel production. And yet, here in Labrador West, we are sitting on over 45 billion tons of identified high purity iron ore. This is a resource that the world needs, and we are ready to provide it, supported by existing infrastructure, rail access, and export capability. We're not only promoting our mineral wealth to potential partners on the global stage, we are also making sure the Government of Canada and industry stakeholders are aware of what we have here. We are letting them know the advantages of our mineral resources, the need for strategic investments based on a viable business case to realize this potential. When I have gone recently to a number of Atlantic provinces meetings, and we sit around and talk about the need for critical minerals and the importance of critical minerals to the world. And the Atlantic provinces start talking about how much critical minerals they have. And I sit back and wait for them to finish talking. And when they're all done, and they talk about having 18 or having 20, it's like a game. And I look at them and I say, right here in Newfoundland and Labrador, we have 34 critical minerals that the world needs. So Canada, we're ready. We have the resources. Let's get on and get this done. And while we go about encouraging these kind of opportunities, our government will also be stepping up to ensure that Newfoundlanders and Labradorians and our workers are ready to take advantage of them. We are preparing more young Newfoundlanders and Labradorians for jobs of the future. That is why we are stepping up to promote careers in the mining industry with programs such as the College of the North Atlantic's 2-year mining engineering technician program. Programs such as this help ensure our young people can land these lucrative jobs, stay here in the province, and raise their families here. We want people not simply to be in Newfoundland and Labrador to be a place where people come from. We want them to come to. We want them to live, not leave. And we can do that. We have the resources. We have the people. Now we just got to get to work and make sure we get it done. But let me tell you, again, why this is so important to me. Our government is making a big bet on expanding natural resource development, whether it's in the offshore oil or new mining developments in the ground. And people ask me, why am I making this bet on mining? Why am I certain this will work? And I tell them that I know mining will work for our province because mining is already working for our province. We can see it right here in Wabush and in Labrador City. Today, there are 11 active mines in the province producing iron ore, nickel, and gold. 4 more projects are advancing with potential production in copper, salt, fluorspar, and iron ore. Quarry resource exports are also emerging as a new opportunity, especially in rural coastal communities. The 2025 gross value of mineral shipments from Newfoundland and Labrador was $4.58 billion, and this year that number is projected to be $6 billion due to the ramp up at Voisey's Bay and new gold production. The mining sector contributes approximately 9.3% to provincial GDP, making it one of the most important resources in our province. I see all of this activity and I say, that's a good start. Why wouldn't we want more of that? I raise this point because it is really a theme that connects our government with everything we are going to do. This is something I feel is non-negotiable. Newfoundland and Labrador must always be the principal beneficiary of our resources. We want to trade, we want to attract investment, we want to partner with other provinces and places to get our resources to market. And we want our partners from these resources too. But ultimately, when push comes to shove, what is important to me is that Newfoundland and Labrador always are the principal beneficiaries from these resources, whatever the resource. I raise this because I know there are a lot of questions from people in Labrador about the future of the Upper Churchill and Gull Island. I've always said we've got to develop these resources. That's how we keep our electricity bills down. That's how we attract new investment. And that's how we finally electrify Labrador. The previous government said they signed an MOU. That was the best possible deal. We had significant doubts that this was the case. And in the last election, the voters let us know who they believe more. Right now, as promised, the existing Churchill River MOU is the subject of an independent review. I look forward to receiving the report of that independent review later in the spring. I want to see, and I want all Newfoundlanders and Labradorians to see, the full picture. what is working and what needs to be fixed. Newfoundland and Labrador has the resources to power Canada and beyond. And our responsibility is to ensure that these resources create the benefits for our people first and foremost. When we get this right, our province, including Labrador West, is poised to thrive. And so whether we're talking about hydroelectricity or oil and gas, we see a future where our province is a global leader in the energy that the world needs. Our government's focus is on creating the right conditions for success, including certainty for investors, strong partnerships with industry and communities, including our Indigenous communities, and sustained benefits for Newfoundlanders and Labradorians. The generation of people who helped build this community don't want to leave it behind because of affordability issues. That's why we've helped pledge to create more affordable and independent housing for seniors in this region. The financial pressures facing our province are real, but I did not run for Premier to increase taxes, nor do I accept that we should force families to do more with less. I will not balance the province's books on the back of our residents. Instead, we will attract investment and pull out all the stops in order to develop resources to grow our economy for the entire province. And when we do, my team and I are going to make sure that Labrador West gets its fair share. In closing, let me say this. Mining has always been an essential part of Newfoundland and Labrador. But the opportunities ahead of us are greater than anything we have seen before. The road ahead will not always be straight and will not always be easy. But we have a clear destination in front of us, and our government will always be grateful to have partners like all of you as all of us take this journey together. Thank you.